Hey internet, do you obsess over anything? 'Cause I sure do. I obsess over things so completely that sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it until somebody specifically points it out to me. I don't even mean important things like money or work or sex. I mean little piddly things like making sure my DVDs are alphabetized or that I always put on my left shoe first. That one's pretty important to me actually. Like if I go to put my shoes on and I pick the right one up by accident, I will set it down and pick up the other one just to make certain that they go on my feet in the correct sequence. I don't know what would happen if I did it the other way around, but I sure as hell don't want to find out. To make matters worse, all of this obsessory overlaps quite nicely with my natural nerdosity. This can cause me to get way too bogged down in trivia when I read books or watch movies. This has two negative side effects. Number one, I'm bothered by things in sequels that no reasonable person should ever be bothered by. And two, I'm somewhat unreliable when it comes to recommendations because I can never be completely sure if I like something because it's good or if I like it because it's easy and fun to obsess over. Case in point, there's this webcomic I read called Homestuck, which I'll link to in the sidebar. Despite the fact that the author has 1 million readers already and absolutely no use whatsoever for links from random YouTube nobodies. Now, I love Homestuck for a lot of reasons, but what I love most is how complicated and self-referential it can get. It's got so many characters and concepts and timelines and alternate dimensions that it's got its own wiki, which is required reading if you want to make any sense whatsoever of the plot. But then I tell a buddy of mine, hey, you should go read this Homestuck, because it's pretty good. And he comes back with, well, I read 100 pages and it wasn't really going anywhere and it was too hard to follow, so I gave up on it. And now my brain is going into overdrive constructing all of the arguments necessary to prove my case that Homestuck is the greatest webcomic ever. But of course my brain is just as obsessed with it as I am, so I just come across sounding like a drooling fanboy. I don't drool that much, do I? I've been on the other side of this situation as well, and it's not fun. I went and saw Spider-Man when it came out, and the next day I was talking to a friend and I said, yeah, I saw it. I thought it was pretty good. And then he was like, yeah, I guess, but I'm pissed that they used Mary Jane and not Gwen Stacy. And then proceeded to lecture me on 35 years of comic book history, during which time I was just like, Stacy who? But hey, I'm not really hurting anybody, and there are worse things in life than being able to recognize every episode of Powerpuff Girls by title alone. Thanks for watching, and if you're not doing it already, make sure you visit my website, skibby.com. I'll see you guys next week. I'm petting my dog. He's adorable.